Assuming you know nothing about this watch, and I told you that this was a sports watch, would you believe me? Looking at the presentation, the overall looks of it, it looks like a dress watch. Well, we'll be getting into that when we're talking about this Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V/110A-B128. Based on their 222, the model that helped them through the quartz crisis. It reuses some design features that has had some updates thereon, making this the Generation 3 version, sharp yet sleek, bright notes surrounding the darkest blues I've seen on any timepiece. Welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you'd purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Alright, I'll be going over the case, the bezel, dial, crown functions, the movement, and the bracelet, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these features as we go over them. Alright, so first off, this case, entirely stainless steel, brushed on all of the major sides, the front as well as the case flank is actually a high polish, a brush finishing on the underside there, just underneath the bottom bezel. Alright, high polish along the sides as well, with a very nice high polish on those little corners there. If my camera will actually focus, yeah. So when you take a look at this watch, you know, on its front facing profile, you get sort of that glowing look with the light being diffused a bit more along the front of the case. All right, it's 41 millimeters in diameter from finger to thumb, and it is only 11 millimeters thick, the thinnest sports watch I've ever seen. Lug to lug, 48.2 millimeters. All right, so it will fit most average size wrists. It has a sapphire crystal on the front, scratch resistant, as well as on the back, showing the movement. As you can see, we'll be going over that shortly. All right, so all of this together works to give this watch a 150 meter water resistance. That's right, 150 meters. That's very far. Okay, and looking at this bezel now, it is a hexagonal style bezel, evocative of the Maltese cross as seen on Vacheron Constantin's logo, as you can see at the 12 o'clock position, just underneath the 12 o'clock index marker. You can see it is loosely based off of that Maltese cross there. It's high polish on the top, satin brush finishing in a circle going all the way around on that secondary bezel, with a high polish meeting the case as well. All right, so taking a look at that dial now, it is a dark blue dial with 18 karat gold, white gold markers, pencil style hands, index hour marks, trapezoidal 12, 6, and 9, with a tasteful rectangular aperture for date at the 3 o'clock. Now, I did note that this is a blue dial. All right, this blueness, you can't really, it's not really a sunray or sunburst look that you would find on, say, a Rolex or even a Patek Philippe, or even on a Royal Oak by Audemars Piguet. This is a lacquered finish on something that must have like a black metal sort of backing to it. There's a very subtle sunray type of finishing to it, yet the way that it plays with the light in the light box, I find it hard to think that, you know, there isn't some sort of radial finishing to this. But, you know, Vacheron Constantin have really knocked it out of the park with the depth of the blue that they can achieve here, and only in certain angles of light. Otherwise, it just looks absolutely black. All right, extremely dark blue, and that's probably what I love about this watch the most. All right, so while we're also on that topic of, you know, how is this a sports watch? Well, we can look at the luminescence. That actually helps out quite a bit, because sports watch enthusiasts would probably take this underwater. And taking a look at the luminescence, it's actually very bright, and you get a very light blue look, not green, but a very light blue that matches, you know, the depth, the shadiness of that dark blue dial but brought up to a nice bright value that's very easy to see underwater and in low light situations. All right, so turning the lights back on so my camera stops having a fit. All right, we can now also look at the way that the hands work here. There's a second hand that actually extends all the way to that outermost track, as you can see down at the 6 o'clock there, sweeping all the way around. And it's actually very convenient that that large outermost second track actually features Arabic numerals in multiples of 5. So there's no mistake on reading the time. All right, but when it comes to reading the time and setting the time, here it is. All you need to do is just unwind the crown to the first position. You are able to wind the watch very easily, charge that mainspring barrel. All right, pull out to the second position, rotate the crown clockwise. It's about a half turn, or actually, no, a quarter turn to advance the date by 1. Pulling out the crown to the final position does not hack the seconds hand, so you'll have to adjust the minute hand properly based on the second hand positioning, all right, and just hope that you get it right, basically. And essentially, if you're picking up a watch of this stature, you're probably not focused on absolute precision timing. There's no chronograph feature here. There's only, you know, that outermost track for the seconds with, you know, a slightly smaller, more spaced apart inner minute track as well among all of the hour markers. All right, so what makes all of this possible is the movement. It is the in-house 5100 made by Vacheron Constantin. It is a self-winding, therefore automatic style movement that is 30.6 millimeters in diameter, or 13 3/4 lines, 4.7 millimeters thick, 28,800 vibrations per hour, or 4 hertz. There's the balance wheel there. And it also has 37 jewels, totaling to 172 parts. It has the hours, minutes, calendar aperture date, as well as the center seconds, and it carries a certification for the hallmark of Geneva on there. All right, a little bit hard for this camera to pick it up, but it is certainly on there. All right, as well as you can see on the bezel, it also does have the Geneva hallmark. If I can find it with my own eyes. There we go. It's on that bottom part of that bezel right there. Very difficult to, or actually no, that's the Vacheron Constantin logo, sorry. I believe it is right there. All right, on the bezel, and it is also on the movement as well. It also has a very large 22 karat, I believe, winding rotor, all in yellow gold. All right, so it allows for that automatic winding. So all you need to do is just wind this once to to its fullest, giving you the power reserve as as given there, and you can actually wear this on your wrist and it will keep charged like that. All right, so framing all of this together, we have the bracelet all in stainless steel, brush finishing along the top, rounded as well to give it some dimensionality within the light. And it also has high polishing in these little sections between each link, as well as high polish along the edges, and a satin brush finishing underneath. Makes it for a very comfortable wear. Now this is the Maltese cross, as is part of the Vacheron Constantin logo. It has a double deployment button clasp. As you can see there, it opens up, so for a more snug fit, this actually makes it a lot more comfortable to put on. And speaking of which, we'll try it on now, see how it looks and feels on the wrist. All right, snapping it on, zooming out, rolling up my sleeve and placing it nicely. It has a very good weight to it overall. It also has, despite it being, over 47 millimeters lug to lug, 48.5 millimeters lug to lug, it has a relatively good framing. It's not the best. I wish I could have a bit more bracelet, because all of that really echoes the overall look of that Maltese cross at the center there, just sort of radiating out from the bezel as well. I'm not getting quite enough of that, but you know, that's just a me thing. If your wrist is larger, you won't have this issue. All right, and with the very dark blue look, it fits with just about any sort of dress, any sort of suit, because it's dark enough that the blueness does not matter too much. So if you have, say, like an orange suit, for example, it won't be too gaudy, although I don't know about your fashion choices if you're wearing an orange suit. Maybe that's your thing, maybe that's a current style. But as of the making of this video, not current, not really my thing, but hey, to each their own. When it comes to the overall weight and the weight distribution, it feels like you're wearing a watch. You have a very solid construction here. You certainly feel it on the wrist. It's not super heavy like a Royal Oak Offshore, but it has the general feel, if that makes sense. It doesn't have the weight, but it has that feel that you have something very strong on you, with that steel bracelet acting as a very nice counterweight against the case. You certainly feel it. But how is this a sports watch? Well, I think that I'll have to leave that up to you, because honestly, I find this much more of a dress style watch. And, you know, we're not here for utmost accuracy, especially with the lack of the stop seconds when you're setting the time, right? So what do you think about this as a sports watch? I personally consider it more of a dress watch, as I had just said. But, you know, if you have other thoughts about this watch, I'd like to hear your comments down below. Let's get a discussion going. Like, how is this a sports watch? This is amazingly good value for what you get. With, you know, you have a watch that does it all. It works in dress attire, it works very well underwater. 150 meters of water resistance is nothing to scoff at. And you also have the value. It's Vacheron Constantin. They've been around for over 200 years. And, you know, they have that name to back it up. And also, let me also mention something that I forgot here. The bracelet is actually very easy to remove. So this model comes with extra bracelets. I don't have them on me at the moment, but you can actually see it's very easy to remove. All right, all you have is this lever underneath, and you just simply pull it back and lift it up off of the case. And to put it back, just simply slot it back in. It clicks in very nicely. Very satisfying click as well. All right, so it certainly has that ability to swap out the bracelets. So if you're going for more of a dressy look, certainly use the steel one. There's also a rubber and a leather style bracelet, so those help with the sports watch looks. But overall, I think a lot of this comes down to the dial, and the presentation here is extremely clean for a sports watch. It's definitely, you know, it's got those outer minute and second track, but I find that hardly a concession to make this a sports watch. But if you have any ideas, again, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you don't like any of what I just said, hit that dislike button twice. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, as it really helps our channel out more than you can ever know. Ring that bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, current production, discontinued, or even used watches, visit our site at jazztime.com. Links in the description below.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.